All right. Well, welcome back to This Podcast Takes Tokens. I'm Derek. I'm here with my brother Ryan, and we're glad you decided to join us this evening, this morning, or whenever you are that you're with us. Let's get today's episode started. Last week, I left you with a retro ramble question. What's something you always wanted to do as a kid, but never got the chance to, and now it might be a little late or kind of silly as an adult to do? Um, since I proposed the question, I'll go first. For me, it was karate. Like, I always wanted to do karate. I thought it'd be a lot of fun. I think I did one. I know I did one lesson whenever I was probably like 10. And I remember we went to this little strip mall and I did like a one-on-one lesson with the sensei for like half an hour, maybe an hour. And then we never went back. We sat down with them. We discussed, I guess, pricing and everything. And then I never got to go back.
That was it.
That was the end of it.
Here's the price.
I don't know if my mom was like, well, this will get it out of his system or
sorry,
what.
Son.
Yeah, we didn't do it. So I always wish I would have, but that was as a kid, you don't get to make those decisions a lot of times. This kind of decisions are made for you.
Yep.
And now if I kind of went back and did it, I'd feel a little silly. Like, I think it's something that, I don't know, as an adult to start karate from nothing would be silly. I feel like, I mean, you could do it. It'd be a decent, physical thing to keep you active and stretching and everything. I mean, it sounds like a good idea, like something to do to remain active, but I would definitely feel a little silly. And I don't think it's something as an adult I would end up doing.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on where you're at. Like, here, we have a martial arts studio or dojo, I guess what they call it.
Okay.
There's a lot of adults that go there, and they're all kind of, beginners. I'm assuming they have like a beginner's class or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, for several years, there's always been a dojo here in town for several years. It's kind of like changed who owned it, and like it, was a different business or something. And so it's had different owners. But I remember in my 20s, there was a lot of people that were going over the dojo, because that's when like MMA was getting really big, and there was people that went over there. And one of my buddies would get so irritated because he went over there, because him and some of our other friends went because they legitimately wanted to learn, martial arts. And there was he's like, gosh, there's these guys that come in here. They just want to like learn how to fight for MMA, and they're here just, a few times and they're gone. And I don't know, he'd get kind of irritated with it. But I don't know. I mean, I always wanted to be in, do martial arts, and I was a kid too. But I know what you're saying. Like, you kind of feel like if you go in there now, you'd be like, remember that episode of The Office when Dwight?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Yes. Yeah. With all 100%. The little kids. Yep. So, I don't know. I always thought it'd be really cool too. I think that was, that's like, I think late 80s, early 90s was almost like peak, like martial arts. I mean, I guess it was pretty big in the 70s too, with Bruce Lee and all that. But like, I remember like, Karate Kid movies were still really popular, and Bloodsport, like all the Van Damme stuff, everything. And
Steven Seagal, all that.
Chuck Norris,
Still going strong.
Oh yeah, I mean, that guy's immortal, right?
Yeah,
he'll outlive all of us. But martial arts, that's a good one.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I always wanted to be. I took it in a more serious way. I mean, I guess yours was serious, but like I took it more of like a career way, is what.
Okay.
So pardon me, not serious, but I know what yours I meant. So I always wanted to be an astronaut growing up.
Oh,
I wanted it so bad. And that was such a dream until I realized that I was afraid of heights. And then that kind of did it in for me. But I don't know. I think it'd still be, if I could ever get over that fear of heights, it'd be really cool to just go up in space. But now I guess I'm kind of like a little bit claustrophobic. So I'd be like, if I was like up on the International Space Station, like those people that are up there right now, and they've been up there for like
Oh
what,
yeah.
9 months or something.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
be like, you got to get me off this thing.
Yeah.
You got to get
I
me
couldn't
off
do
of it. Like, yeah. So
it. Yeah.
yeah,
I hear about all that and I'm like, nope,
yeah,
I can't. No, that's
yeah,
like, I was
yeah.
watching Massimino, Steve Massimino, one of the more popular of the astronauts, the
Oh yeah,
more
yeah,
recent
yeah,
ones.
yeah. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah. Mhm.
He did like a series of interviews for some magazine on YouTube, and there's all these interviews where he's talking about like what they eat in space, what it's like living in space, what it's
Mhm.
like, going to the bathroom in space, and like
Yeah.
he's describing all these different things, and each one of them I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. I could not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are deal breakers.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the confined spaces and stuff
Oh
like that. And he
man.
was talking about like whenever they go to sleep, they just kind of like they're strapped in a little bit, but
Yep.
they're just floating inside this little
Mm.
bag. That'd be so weird.
Which
I mean, it'd
I
be
think
cool. It'd be neat to
what
experience.
I'm
But it's
sure
one of
like
those things where like I want a day trip it. I just want to go up there for a few hours and
yeah.
then come back.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the sleeping thing, like it would be, I think it'd be one of the most comfortable things because
Oh yeah.
we're always like, oh, we want to sleep on air.
Yeah.
Go to space, like
Nothing
literally,
but it.
yeah, you're not sleeping on anything. You are sleeping on, I guess, artificial air. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, my big thing now would be like, I am at the mercy of somebody else to get me off of this thing and to get me home. And it would almost feel like a prison, I think,
Yeah.
because that's something like I've always thought like, gosh, I don't know if I could ever like, hopefully I never, go to prison.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like I'm a pretty law abiding citizen,
Yeah.
but I like, I don't know what I would do if it's like you're locked in a room and like, what if something happens to everybody else and you're just stuck in here until you die? Like you can't get out. I don't, it just, oh my gosh, freaks me out. So yeah, astronaut, always wanted to do it. Never did it. But clearly.
Well, like eventually if you go off into space, you're so far away from the ground that you're no longer above the ground so much as
Mm,
you are out in orbit. So
sure.
your fear of heights at a certain point has just got to be like, there's got to
Yeah.
be no more. At a certain point, like you got to think there's no more height. Like now it's just like everywhere is just open.
Oh, but see, then my other fear is like, this is an irrational one too, but it's like, there's infinity above me and below me
Yeah.
and all around me. Like, what if like I just start drifting somewhere? I have no way of getting back. So clearly, as a child, I didn't think any of this through. And
No, just
so, yeah,
astronaut. That's a great one. Yeah.
yeah,
You ever
yeah.
heard Pete Holmes do the bit about how like space is just like it's just nothingness and it's expanding nothingness and it's just continuing to become more and more infinite nothingness, and it's just infinite nothingness that is getting bigger as we speak, and it's just nuts how
I've
that's
heard that. Yeah,
possible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Space is like so interesting. Just
Yeah.
what is out there and just the
And what we
magnitude.
know about space could fit inside of a molecule of a grain of sand on a beach
Yeah.
on the entire earth. Like
Yep.
is insane how little we actually know about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are people brave enough to just go out there and be like, you know what? I know just enough.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
It's fine. Yeah.
Hats off to them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, ready to get this episode started?
Let's get it going. Let's do it.
All right. Your local video store card.
A comic book in your back pocket.
Games with no tutorials.
Music you had to discover.
And drinking water straight from the hose.
These are the things us millennials remember fondly. We are the Jennings brothers.
Join us after the streetlights come on
as we race our bikes from the top of the hill
right down memory lane.
Exchange those quarters because this podcast takes tokens.
Welcome back to This Podcast Takes Tokens. We are about to step out onto the green and tee up this beautiful episode 64. That's right, folks. Today we're talking about the 1996 classic golfing movie, Happy Gilmore.
You planned that, didn't you? You're like, oh, this is episode. This has a 4 in it. This episode has a 4 in it. So we've got to do Happy Gilmore.
I was typing it out at home. I was making up my note sheet, and I was like, episode 64, and I was like, oh, that is just perfect.
Yeah,
couldn't have planned that better. That's right. Yeah. Happy Gilmore. This was a fun rewatch. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. This is just one of those movies that it's always good to watch. Like I can't not watch this movie if it comes on. It's just fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Budget of $12 million. What do you think the opening weekend or the worldwide box office take were?
So the first thing I got to ask is, and you may not know the answer to this, was this like one of the first Adam Sandler movies?
No.
Like of his. Okay. So then
I'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay. So that changes.
This came after Billy Madison.
Okay. So I am going to say it made. You said it was budget of 12 million?
12 million. That's right.
30 million in its opening weekend. Or I mean,
opening weekend.
Did you said opening weekend?
Opening weekend and worldwide box office.
Okay. Ooh, that's a lot. Opening weekend, let's say it broke even, 12 million. Worldwide, 60 million.
All right, well, a little over. Opening weekend, 8.5. Worldwide, 41 million.
Okay.
So pretty good. Like I'm surprised that we didn't get a sequel sooner. That was pretty decent returns. But then again, like after this, Adam Sandler kind of shot off and was busy. Just like I think a movie every year. It seemed like he was coming
sometimes two. It seemed like it was just It was like Adam Sandler just. I mean,
and then he started being in movies twice, and they weren't as good. But we can talk about those. Happy Gilmore came. This is probably, I'm gonna call this his third big film. Not his third film, but before this we had some appearances on TV shows. There was a movie called Going Overboard, which was like his first movie, and he's on the cover. Like he's the star of this movie. I never saw it. I had a friend that had the VHS and we were going to watch it, but I don't think I ever sat down and watched it. I never heard anything good about it. So I never sat down and watched it. And then he did a couple other like little bit parts of movies. Like he was in Coneheads for a little, I think he was the guy that sold them the fake IDs. And he was in Mixed Nuts.
He was on SNL.
He was on SNL. That was the big one. That was what he was known for. And Mixed Nuts, he was another small part. And then Airheads, he was one of the three main guys. So that was probably his first big one. Then Billy Madison, he starred in. Like that was his starring role. And then we got Happy Gilmore. That's a pretty good like start. I mean, I wouldn't say fumbles or missteps. I mean, really, like they're not bad. But like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, those were like the two that we coveted growing up. Those are the two that we were always watching and quoting, and oh man, so much fun. That and then Waterboy and Big Daddy came around, and that was had another little duality there of them, and came to appreciate The Wedding Singer a little later on, and thought Little Nicky was going to be funny and good, and at the time, I think I enjoyed it, but I don't know if that was ironically. Because now I look back on it and I'm like, I don't know if I could rewatch that one and enjoy it the same.
I remember really liking Little Nicky. I would watch it a lot, but it's been since then since I've watched it, so I'm not sure.
I'm afraid honestly, that might be another mask.
We'll see. We'll have to do that. Of the pantheon of Adam Sandler comedies in the 90s. Early 2000s or whatever. I'll be honest. This is one I had not watched until this viewing here.
No way.
I had seen parts from it, or I'd heard people talk about. I'd never actually seen this movie. This is a absolute like fresh out of the garden watch for me.
How did you sleep on Happy Gilmore for all these years? That's crazy.
I have no idea, but I did. I did. You
All
know,
right.
I made it right. You made it right for me by forcing me to watch it this week. So,
So how did you enjoy it? What'd you
yeah.
think?
It was fun. It was hilarious. I loved it. I just he's Adam Sandler. He does his Adam Sandler stuff, and he's
Yeah.
in these movies. He's Adam Sandler playing Adam Sandler, and that's
Mhm.
absolutely fine because it works and it works great.
Yeah.
And Carl Weathers, great in this movie.
Yes.
I think everybody that's in this movie is fantastic, and there's so much just I don't know, there's just a lot of it's a comedy. There's a lot of funny stuff in it,
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and I have no idea how I waited this long to see it, but here it is.
Well, here we are.
Yeah,
Happy Gilmore, first time. All
yeah,
right, I'll
yeah.
take it. All right. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I just really enjoyed go back and watching it. I really didn't remember the opening as much. Like the whole bit about I was watching the opening and I was like, man, I don't remember it opening like this. I kind of remember it opening with him finding out about the taxes, and I kind of forgot about the whole hockey player part of it.
Mhm.
And I really forgot about the very beginning where he's like talking about his parents and his mom moved to Egypt, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, his dad was like a
yeah.
little intense. Which did she move to Egypt, or was that like, like what his dad told him, like, his mom left and his dad was like, oh yeah, she just moved off to Egypt because he didn't
Yeah,
really
I don't
want
know. I
to
don't
deal
know.
with it in some way.
Yeah, yeah. Never really
Uh,
tells us, but
Yeah. But I feel like that'll come. We'll revisit that in a later question I have for you.
yeah, yeah.
But
I will
yeah.
say real quick, we got a comment on here that Matt
Oh,
Pavaza, he says he still enjoys Nicky. So we'll have to,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, we'll totally have to check that out and watch it again and see if it holds up for us. So thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be curious. Like I said, I mean, I kind of I was a little concerned about the whole Adam Sandler shtick coming into this one being a little much. Because I feel like Adam Sandler over the years that whole shtick has kind of mellowed, and
Mhm.
it's not as like, I don't know how to describe it, but like Billy Madison. Like I feel like that was like the max Adam Sandler shtick that you could
Mm,
get,
mm,
like with like the weird silly voice and all that, and then you kind of get to like around Click, he starts becoming palatable to a much wider audience. And Happy Gilmore really, it wasn't as much of that Billy Madison
mhm,
thing
mhm.
as I remembered. It was a lot closer, I would say, to like any of the characters he plays in like the 2000s and stuff. But yeah, like I said, all the more it's still enjoyable. Still had a lot of fun with it. Probably my favorite, if not like one of my top 3 favorite Adam Sandler movies was this one. And
Mhm, mhm.
I enjoy me some Adam Sandler movies. I have not seen um a bunch of them, I'd probably say. Like there's a few of them I haven't seen just because I don't like the one with him playing his twin sister, or Jack and Jill or something like
I've
that.
heard that is so bad. I've
Yeah,
never
I
watched it.
don't know. Yeah.
I've heard it was bad.
I feel like I would need to be locked on a desert island with just like that and a DVD player that'll play anything at any time.
Yeah.
And it would still take me a couple months to get around to watching it.
Mr. Deed, Matt says Mr. Deeds is pretty good. Yeah.
Mr. Deeds is
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, that
I
was
enjoyed
good.
that one.
Uh-huh.
That was a
Yep.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good one. How about what's up?
Yeah, no, I think Adam Sandler, I think most comedians hit this spot in their career where they've got just smash hits after smash hit after smash hit. And then they get a role like, I don't know, I guess I can't fairly say this, but I'm just going to say for the sake of the argument, like we've been talking, Jack and Jill, and it's
Yeah.
just oh gosh, and then they have to kind of come back from that. Because I mean, you look at like Eddie Murphy, like all this great stuff, and then he hits like Norbit, or even like the Nutty Professor too. Like the first one was kind of funny, but it's like, he's kind of straddling that line. But yeah, I
He
don't
went
know.
back to the well like 2 or 3 times on that one.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. It's just something that happens, and we've discussed it before. Not everybody, nobody is going to make nothing but like great movies.
Absolutely.
So
for sure. But I really enjoyed it. This one, another thing about this movie, it's just got a fantastic soundtrack, like all the way through it. Like it starts out, opens with like what Tuesday's Gone.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some Kiss You All Over, Money, Magic, Carry On My Wayward Son, Wooly Bully, Endless Love. I mean, Jump Around.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, like that's just every time they would drop a new song or in the soundtrack, the movie as it's playing, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's another great song. And it's just like, in 90, like I didn't really have much of an appreciation for classic rock until probably the 2000s. That's when I really went back and discovered all that. Before that, I think Aerosmith was like my only classic rock touchstone that I listened to or whatever. But man, this would have been a good soundtrack to have back in the day. I bet you could play that one and not have to really skip anything. It'd be a good one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which one of my favorites is the part where they're in the skating rink and she hits the slap shot and it starts panning back and the Zamboni driver is sitting there mouthing the lyrics to Endless Love.
And then when it ends, he just kind of looks down. Like it's just it's some huge emotional like it is pulling at his heartstrings. He is reliving some memory as a child,
some lost love or something.
Some lost love. Yeah, it's great. This movie's full of like little stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Like whenever the guy Kevin Nealon puts his quarter down to mark where his ball is, and the caddy walks up and picks it up.
Yeah, picks it up. Or the beginning when he's like talking about the jobs that he's had, and he ends up
every
shooting
one of them.
Mr. Larson in the head with a nail, and he's Jaws, Jaws from the Bond movies, yeah. And then he's got it in his head later, getting it out on Tuesday.
That was great.
Yeah.
And like every job he has, he's doing the same thing. He's behaving the same way, and it's funny. That was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah.
And then you got like great little like guest appearances, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like most notably, the whole thing with Bob Barker, man. Bob Barker steals the show whenever he comes on and does that scene, and that's anybody can talk about. And that was a lot of fun. Yeah. I was reading somewhere that Bob Barker only agreed to do it after he learned that he was going to win the fight. Like before that, he was like on the edge, and then they're like, "Oh no, we'll let you win the fight with Adam." He's like, "Oh, okay, then I'm in."
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of funny, but he earned it, so we'll give it to him.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen like. There's been times where Adam Sandler's come back on to The Price is Right a couple times and putted with Bob Barker.
Oh, has he really? I haven't.
I think he came on like with Bob Barker's last year, and when he was doing the big going away thing on Price is Right, and they did like a round of putting, one of the mini games or whatever that involved putting.
Yeah.
So that was it's nice to know that they maintained some friendship afterwards.
And speaking of the putting, so when him and was it Chubbs was Carl Weathers, and when they're at the mini golf course, and
that's a wild mini golf course.
Oh man, I mean he's just breaking stuff everywhere, and they're still letting him play. And he tells him, he's like, you're thinking too much. Huh? You just need to go to your happy place. So then, he's thinking, and Julie Bowen's like scantily clad, she's holding beers and everything. What is with this little guy that's dressed up as a cowboy
on the tricycle?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was just like, it was a funny image. So they're like, yeah, sure, let's do that.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing I do really enjoy about like a lot of these Adam Sandler movies, because they seem to throw just random stuff in there sometimes that just makes not a lot of sense. Like, the end when they're back at the house and he looks up in the clouds and Chubbs is saying that there's Abraham Lincoln that's up there. Like, where did that come from? In the alligator, yeah. Like, where did this come from? It's just so ridiculous.
Abraham
but it
Lincoln
makes you laugh.
No
it's great. It made no sense at all.
It was great. Yeah,
but I love it. I love it. It's so funny. It just adds to these really are. I mean, some people argue with you. You got these cinema snobs out there that are going to argue with me. But in my opinion, this is the everyman's like comedy gold stuff like this, right? It's just great. It's so good. Yeah,
it's so much fun. It's a good fun. Hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes,
hour and 36 minutes, I think is what it was. Yeah.
That's all you need. Hour and 36 minutes to escape and just kind of like sit back, relax, and have a little bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Absolutely.
Nothing too serious with it. You're going to have a beginning. You're going to have an antagonist. There's going to be a little bit of a struggle there, but it's all going to work out fine in the end.
Just remember, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
It's all in the hips. All in the
Just
hips.
easing the tension, baby.
That's enough easing.
Speaking of antagonists, that Shooter McGavin.
Oh,
such
great.
A fun villain. Such a great villain.
I enjoyed him so much. Christopher McDonald just does such a great job.
He does.
In that.
You can tell he really enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
He had fun with that part. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of classic lines from the movie that we shall not quote here, but
I eat pieces
they make it out. Yeah.
Crap like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of crap for breakfast?
Then he realizes what he said, and it just kind of walks off. Now, one thing I did like is when what did he say to him? He's like, I'm going to, they're talking about how they're going to beat each other.
Fight.
They're going to fight. And Happy grabs the beer bottle and smashes it. And he's like, I meant on the golf course.
And then she comes up, she's like, what is it? He's like, oh yeah, I was just helping him find the other half of the spear bottle. Look, there's some there. And there's some over there. Well, I'm gonna put this down now.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah. Man, that was so much fun. And then Julie Bowman, where'd she go for 20 years? She did this movie and then I didn't see her again until
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Yeah.
Man. That's just she was a lot of fun in it too. I'm glad she's coming back for the sequel. That'll be good to see.
Okay.
And
is Christopher McDonald coming back as Shooter for this? Do you know? Or
he is. He was in the casting list. Shooter McGavin's going to be in there. There's a couple other. I think pretty much everybody that's still alive is coming back for the sequel. He's going to have fun with it. I haven't seen any trailers or anything for what. Let's get into that now. What do you think? Let's speculate. What do you think the sequel is going to be about?
I think there's going to be some. Well, gosh darn. So
I think this is where the mom could come back from Egypt.
Oh yeah, because Grandma's. I'm sure that actress is passed on.
Yeah,
now.
She passed away.
I'm sure. I wonder if him and Julie will have any children.
Oh, maybe a young golf prodigy or a hockey prodigy.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
I would like to see. I would honestly like to see him and Shooter have to team up against somebody else.
Odd couple action.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun. That'd be fun to see. Maybe they have to do a. I don't know if they do this in golf or not. I'm not a golfer. I like going to Top Golf sometimes, but I don't know if they do like a doubles match, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that goes. So someone out there who knows golf is laughing at me. It's probably not even a thing.
I know they do like celebrity pair-ups, like obviously they did in the movie.
Oh, sure,
with Bob
yeah.
Barker.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or
but they could do
like
a charity pair-up or something, like teaming or something like that. I think they do that, yeah. Where they like pool their points.
Mm-hmm. That'd be great if they had Tiger Woods as the villain.
Right. I don't know that he would do it.
Yeah. What do you
very
think?
Much so about his look. I think. Let's see. Sequel. What would it be about? I think Happy's going to be. I don't know, man. I don't know because he's okay. So he's played the golf. He got pretty good. I doubt he continued to play golf for much longer after this. Like he probably made enough money that he could retire, and then they settled down, started a family pretty soon after that. So then that would put his kids, let's say 25 to 30 range. They're let's say they're 20 to 25 range. So they're in college or going off to college, and now they're having empty nest syndrome. What am I going to do with my life? You know, what's the rest of Happy's life look like? So he's probably, then he's going to have to pick up, you know what? Shooter's probably going to come to him and want him to help out with something, or, you know, Shooter's down on his luck. Shooter's down on his luck because he's been, since this whole thing, he's just downward spiraled. And now he's at rock bottom, and he's got his one last shot to get, back on top. Yeah. And he needs Happy's help. That's what it's going to be. And Julie Bowman's character, I forget her name. She's going to
Virginia
convince him to do it. Virginia. Thank you. Yeah. She's going to convince him to do it. Because he's a good guy and he needs to set an example for his kids or something like that. And, you know, bury the past or whatever. I bet they're still living in the house too.
Oh, sure.
They're still living
Have
in
to
the
be.
house.
Have to be.
Yeah.
Have to be. If they can,
that's my guess.
If the house is still available for them to shoot,
and then the twist will be his mom coming out of the woodworks or something like that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Who knows? We're probably completely wrong, and Shooter's going to come back and just be a complete jerk, and whatever. But
yeah, oh, it'd be fun to see. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good movies coming out this summer.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had a good run of movies.
It has.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What would you want from the movie? Like, we've talked about this before. Like, if you could have a prop or something like that, what would it be? So out of this whole movie,
it's got to be the alligator head, right?
The alligator head. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say the putter, but yeah, all right.
Well, the putter. So I was torn, and I was like, either the alligator head or Chubb's hand. But I don't know. The alligator head's funny. I got you a gift.
Yeah.
He opens it up, and that's what kills him. Like,
which he's just like, and then he's back.
Yeah, just falls out.
Oh,
like,
man.
I did not even see that coming at all.
No.
Like, what is this?
And he falls like 2 stories. Like, it's not that far, but it kills him. And then there's the other lady in the old folks home that has an air conditioner drop on her, and she's okay.
And she's fine.
She got hit by a car earlier that day too.
Yeah.
Tough old bird, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it'd probably be, I think it's a toss up, but I think I'm going to lean one way. The Bruins jersey. For me, it's got to be that Bruins jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's a pretty cool little piece. I was going to say his the hockey stick putter thing that Chubb made for him, but the Bruins jersey, I could wear that out. I could.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I never had a hockey jersey before. I've never worn a hockey jersey before, but it's Texas. It gets too hot for that.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
That's what I would have been.
I mean, those things are basically like what do they call it? It's like a moo or something. Those big old big dress things.
Yeah, it goes down like between your knees and thighs. Like, they're pretty big.
I mean, I know these players have like 500 pounds of pads on them, so like it's got to all fit in there. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be a good one. I mean, if anything, you could just don't want to wear it. You can just put it in a little trophy case and sit it up there.
Yeah. Be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Did they have to kill Chubbs?
I think he
For the plot of
needed
the movie?
something. He needed something to play for at the end. He needed,
Okay.
because he's like, I'm gonna win this one for Chubbs, and then Shooter's like, no, I'm
Grandma's
gonna win it
house
for
wasn't
Chubbs.
enough. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Chubbs taught him a lot, and even though he's really, Carl Weathers really isn't in this movie a whole lot. There's
he really isn't.
Just those couple scenes, but really steals the show, I think, when he's in it. Like, that whole thing with his hand is just absolutely absurd, and you can tell looking at him, like his literally Carl's hand is in that sleeve, and he's just holding this prop
by a stick,
which makes it so much funnier.
Yeah,
that they've made it so obvious, And when he like goes to shake, does he shake? How does Happy first get that? Like, he shakes his hand or something. Happy's like, "Oh my God, what is that?"
Like, alligator done tore my hand off.
You tore it off.
Took out his eye. That was fun.
Oh, don't worry. I threw your hand over there or whatever. Oh, don't worry about it. It's made out of wood. It's really sturdy. And then that car just destroys it. And the next thing you see, it's like taped up. And it's
never the same.
That's so funny. It's so funny. And then when he dies,
good running gag.
They don't they've got a picture of him. They don't have like a coffin or even an urn. They've got his hand sitting there on the pedestal.
Like, that's what he was best known for or something.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if that happened to a player in real life, like, that would be his legacy, right? It wouldn't be how good of a player he was.
Yeah,
it would be like, oh yeah, he's the guy
that got his alligator hand.
Got his alligator hand,
alligator.
And he plucked his eye out. Like,
he carries around that little jar too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he carries it with him.
I'm surprised it wasn't a necklace or something.
It's the absolute absurdity of some of the stuff that's in this movie that it's oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah. So, favorite quote. Do you have a favorite quote that comes to mind?
Oh yes, it is when the we heard it in the trailer. It's when the announcers are talking after Happy's getting, very successful and everything. And that one announcer is like, what a large and economically diverse crowd we have here.
All right, that's pretty good.
Economically diverse. I've never heard that before, and I thought that's perfect. You've got these. That's just a perfect way to describe the characters that he brought out.
Yeah. Economically diverse.
Yeah. What about you?
It's another toss-up. I'm going to go with whenever Happy's first playing with Chubbs. And, he has struggles on the first ball, on the first one. And then he shoots that hole in one on like the par 3 or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, you got it in on one try, hole in one or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, I should just try and get it in the first time every time, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
it's a good idea.
Want to go?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah.
It's either that or the part where I forget who says it. I think they're talking to Shooter, and he goes, and he's like, is Happy was talking to Shooter, and he's like, what the sad thing is? You've been playing golf your whole life. I've only just started, or something like that. It's like, it's great little zinger on him.
Yeah.
The back and forth between those two was just so much fun.
It was. It's great to see. They just make a good, antagonizing pair of, it really works well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he hires that one guy to come on the course and just like pepper at Happy, like, like, hey, he's just like antagonizing him the whole time. And then finally Happy loses it.
Why? Like, you've got the like the I don't know what they're called. We got the people standing there with like the quiet, signs up.
Yeah.
Why is no one saying anything to this guy? Like he's
Well,
hollering it out.
because Happy established early on, he's like, hey, everybody, get louder. He likes his audience to be loud.
That's right.
and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. That's true. Okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I took it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Happy has asked for this. Like, he's dismissed the quiet people, and so they no longer try and keep the audience quiet. Yeah. And then he drives onto the golf course, like, later on.
That was so
how
weird.
did he get on the golf course?
How is that happening? Yeah. But, it's this movie.
Then we wouldn't have the final putt.
Like, you wouldn't have the final putt. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta go back to the mini golf, thought. And he just bounces it off everything and it goes right in. Yeah.
I want to know where that mini golf course is. That would be a wild mini golf.
Yeah.
Like, and does like Clown's Mouth always spit the ball back out at you if you get it in? Because he's never going to beat it.
What he says there, when he first knocks it in and it spits it back out, and he's like, "Oh, he's having a good time,"
Everybody's having a good time.
Everybody's having a good time. I love it. He's getting frustrated, but he's like, you could feel it. He's getting frustrated, but he's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah, it's so funny. So
seething underneath.
So, can we take a second here and let's talk about two things: Ben Stiller's excellent performance and how he's running an elderly sweatshop at this nursing home.
I'm gonna give you a nice cold glass to put the hell up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can get you 20 more. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. All right. We got to speed it up. My hands are hurting.
Good news. We've extended arts and crafts time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. There's a deleted scene where Happy finds out about that and ends up beating the guy up and throwing him out the window. So
I wondered because they never really wrap that up in the movie.
They just kind of like
it just ended
like
took
her home.
And,
and you just kind of left like, oh, I guess like the guy just continued doing whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Which he's signed on to be in the sequel too. So I'm curious like how he comes back.
That's another thing. So, like Adam Sandler does really well at these roles. Ben Stiller does a really good job at like those sleazy roles like that, I think. I mean, Ben Stiller's great anyway. I love most of the stuff that he's in.
I can't think of a Ben Stiller movie I've watched and haven't thought, or I've watched and been like, I wish I wouldn't have watched that.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, they're not all ones that I want to watch 1,000 times, but I've always enjoyed them whenever I watch them. Like even like some of the more serious things he's done. He did one back in like the mid to late 90s, and it was about like a writer dealing with like drug addiction or something like that and going through withdrawals, and he would have like these hallucinations throughout it. And I just remember thinking, man, it's a really good movie. It's dark and he does a really good job with the material and everything, and I really enjoyed it. But it's not something I'm going to watch all the time. But it was fun. It was a good movie. It's a good character study, I should say. And
he's a drug addict. It was fun.
It's fun as it can be.
Yeah.
It's moments, but like things like that. It's like I enjoy him. I enjoy his stuff. Is
he the only orderly that's working there? Like you never see anybody else.
You don't, no.
He's got that ring of keys on his belt. Like
he's got like this whole like facility on lockdown, and he's just one guy running this like grift where he's getting all these old people in there and just locking them up and having them do arts and crafts all the time and selling it.
Yes. Yeah.
I can see that. Like he seems shady now. He's gonna have some scheme or something like that in the sequel. I know it.
Yeah. Oh, he's
a shady guy.
Yeah. So grandma can't afford, she hadn't paid her taxes because she can't afford her taxes on the house. Yet they can afford to put her in this nursing home. Like nursing homes are like way expensive. But
I don't feel like this is an expensive nursing home.
Now that I'm saying that, it's if he's running a sweatshop out of this, it's probably they could stay there for free.
Yeah, or close to it.
Yeah,
he's taking a little something, but not much. Yeah, just enough to get him in the door.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Man. Yeah, that was great. That was a great character. It was a lot of fun to watch. Who else? Who else had good characters? I think that was about it. Like that and Bob Barker,
Yeah.
like
I mean, Richard, we kind of talked about him. Richard Kyle as Mr. Larson was great.
Yeah.
Like, when Shooter
Smeagol is the
comes up
tax
to
lawyer.
him, what's that?
Bob Smeagol is the tax lawyer. He was a SNL writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bit part. Yeah.
That scene where Shooter, like, he hits the ball and it goes kind of into the timber, and he comes and it's on Mr. Larson's foot, and he's like, "Your ball struck my foot."
Your ball struck my foot, sir.
Or earlier,
good God.
Earlier, yes, when he sees him, he first sees him, he's like, "Will you show my God?" And he's like this, and he takes his 9-iron or whatever, and he bends it. Yeah, he was great in it. I thought he was great.
He was.
The Watch had Ben Stiller. This is what Matt Favaz is saying here. The Watch had Ben Stiller and Richard Ayoade from the IT Crowd and Vince Vaughn in it.
Oh yeah, vaguely recall that one.
He said, "I wanted to like it, but it was awful." So, there we go. There's a Ben Stiller movie that.
Oh, was that the one that was like an alien movie, or is that the one where they were? I'm thinking of Tower Heist with I think he did one with Eddie Murphy called Tower Heist.
Okay,
that's what I was thinking of. The Watch. I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah,
maybe I won't have to check it out then.
So yeah. That's weird though. You would think with at least with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn, that would be.
Oh yeah, it's good too. I mean, but then again, like sometimes with like, I don't know. Like every once in a while, like you get too much of a good thing going, and it just doesn't work. Yeah. So I guess there's that. But all right. Favorite scene? Got any favorite scene you want to cover? It's a tough one.
I don't know. It is tough. I mean, it's all pretty good. I'll
say for me,
go ahead.
For me, it's the one. It's whenever he loses it on the ball and he's about to be kicked off the course, and they're in the office, and all you hear in the background of this conversation is him cursing out the ball, and it's just bleeps and bleeps.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were talking about because all I could concentrate is
that's all you're concentrating on. Yeah.
In the background the whole time, and it was just I loved it. That's probably one of my favorite things to watch in the whole movie.
Yeah. I mean, I really like that scene where I can't remember. It may be the same scene where he's putting and like the ball won't go in, and he's like, "Go to your home, just go to your home," But I don't know. My favorite scene. I mean, honestly, it's probably the end when he wins the tournament. I always like.
Okay.
Yeah, I always like seeing stuff like that in movie. The happy ending, and the bad guy kind of gets it, and so.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had a lot of fun with this one. You got anything else you wanted to bring up?
I think I'm looking through my notes here. I think it's a little quick thing on there when he's singing into the intercom to his girlfriend.
Oh, God, yes.
And then, like everybody's down there.
She's walked away.
That woman shows up, and then she he buzzes her in, and she shows
there
up
the next morning.
Yeah, she's.
You want eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was pretty good. I thought it was pretty.
Can't blame a guy for trying, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, and that Subway commercial, is gold. I love the Subway commercial.
He hits it off the tee right into the guy's mouth.
Yeah.
And I could see that being an actual commercial in the 90s too.
Yeah. And I can't remember. It had to have been like a tie-in or something, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know. Had to have been somewhere.
I'm sure.
Had to have aired it somewhere. But
I mean, they had to have gotten money from Subway to feature.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's probably like what covered most of the budget of the movie, I bet.
Yeah.
It's just one giant Subway commercial from.
I mean, he's wearing the Subway shirt and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he comes in that first scene. He's got Subway with him. He's talking about their delicious meatball subs that he got. It kind of reminds me of Wayne's World 2 whenever they're doing all the product placements.
Yeah. We will not sell out to corporate conformity or whatever it is. I don't remember the line they say.
Yeah. Well, all right. You see, Ryan, a podcast itself has its own energy, or life force, if you will. Its natural environment is in your ear hole. So why don't you send this podcast home? Its bags are packed. It's got an airline ticket. Bring it to the airport. Send it home.
I like it. Great advice. Great advice. I'll send it home. Just go home. Go to your home.
Oh my god!
Never gets old. Never gets old.
No.
After I say that, after the one time that I've watched this movie yesterday, it never gets old. It never gets old. Yeah. All right. Well, our retro ramble question for next week for you. Something to think on, something to chew on. What was your first PC gaming experience?
Ooh.
Because I know you were probably like me, started out with console gaming, and at some point hit PC gaming. So I'm kind of curious what your first experience was with that. So,
got it.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
let us know what you. Well, you got a whole week to think about.
I got a whole week. Yes.
Yeah, you got a whole week to think about it. You might change your mind.
I might.
Maybe this wasn't my first experience. Maybe
That's right.
it was this.
I might get refreshed. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Yeah, who knows?
Make sure I got it right.
All right. Well, let us know. You can let us know in the comments what was your question. It was your retro ramble question.
Something that you always wanted to do as a kid but never got a chance to, and now it would be kind of silly to do if you as an adult.
Yeah, so throw that in the comments. We'd love to read it. We'll read it on the air. Next time we're on the air, we can read them. And love to hear what you got to think. What you got to think. Love to hear what you think about the podcast. If I can ever get my words out. So leave us a review. They help a lot. We do, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, we have YouTube video versions of this. You can see our smiling faces as we're talking. We also do live episodes Thursday nights, the exception of tonight. We had to push it and we're on a Wednesday. But normally Thursday nights we do live episodes.
On YouTube?
Take comments on YouTube, yes. Also on
this podcast
Instagram.
takes tokens.
At this podcast takes tokens. Yep. And see you next time. Remember, sharing is caring. Went through all that rigmarole. And be kind and rewind, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
See y'all around.
This Podcast Takes Tokens is a Clay Street production.